Bang! Neeves Knives, I'm Jared, and today we have a few new knives in that we are going to check out, starting off with the new Manganas design, which is the Kimono. The Manganas Kimono. What a name. So we have the Manganas Kimono with a beautiful, I love this blade shape, a beautiful harpooned drop point American Tonto with a nice dual grind. Very thin behind the edge. Gotta love that. Great geometry. And then, you know, if you look at the blade stock thickness, the blade stock thickness is nice and thick and robust. So it's not a fragile blade, but it's still going to be nice and slicey. The blade steel's S35 VN, 60 to 62 HRC, really good HRC for S35, happy to hear that. We'll get to the detent and everything in a second. Titanium frame lock. Oh, it is done by KIZER. I'm sure you guys could probably tell that. You could tell that definitely by the packaging. I mean, I know you guys didn't see all the packaging, but I did. And it is by KIZER. KIZER does a really good job. They do a really good job with their titanium frame lock, so happy to see that. And you can see this is a titanium bolster lock, and I like kind of how the cutout is for the handle. This one is the fat carbon fiber one, but there is obviously other options. It is more of a blasted finish on the titanium, and then you have a titanium mill pocket clip and back spacer with some jimping that is nice and catchy. Now the action, you guys know KIZER does a really good job with their action. This is a nice solid detent, and it's nice that he was able to capture the detent so well for both deployments. The reverse flick, it does feel like it's a little bit stronger because, you know, it's just, you know, the leverage from the pivot and everything, you know, it's just the geometry, but it's really good, like super good. Very good reverse flicking deployment. Love the access to the lock bar. Exactly what I love to see. Holy cow, is that comfortable. Not only very comfortable, but something about that just makes a knife feel premium to me. You know, when they care about that detail. That can ruin a knife for me. You know, if I get a knife and everything else is good and then I'm struggling to unlock it or it's sharp or something, just absolutely ruins it. And this is very comfortable. And then the flipper tab is also very comfortable, very well jimped, perfect jimping. The jimping is very well done, nice and sharp, but not too sharp. It's a nice little platform for your finger to really get leverage. As soon as you break the detent, it flies. It's good. I can fail it if I really try, but you know, you have to really, really try. It's good. Yeah, it's almost impossible to fail it, to be honest. Damn. If I cheat, yeah, if I cheat. But just pulling it down, just breaking the detent, it fires. Very ergonomic, extremely good on the ergonomics. Nice little ramp there, and like I said, it's a nice thick blade stock, so, you know, nice platform, nice landing zone when you do flip it open. Nice comfortable spot to land. Yeah, this is a good one, and the pre-order is open, so if you want to get this bad boy, you can get it. The price is, it's a pre-order, you know, so there's a designer and everything, so you got to understand the prices are going to be probably a little bit higher than normal, but for this version, $275, there is versions for, I think, $250 for the regular micarta. That's probably the route I would go, is the micarta, to be honest. I think, I mean, I have a lot of fat carbon. If you don't have a lot of fat carbon, then, you know, it might matter to you the other way around. Getting past the detent is really easy, very smooth on the drop. The thumb flick is really good. Let's do it one more time. Yeah, you can hear the detent too. So it's really awesome that it's so good in the left hand. So if you are left-handed, this one is a good one for lefties, and it has a reversible clip. So that's really awesome. Now the clip screws are T6s. The rest of the screws are T8s. So that'd be one little nitpick, is that, you know, I wish these were T8s. So it's T8s all the way around. There's a T6 there too, but the rest of the screws are T8s. The next little nitpick I have is I wish the stop pin was a little bit bigger. It is somewhat of a tiny stop pin. Not that I think it's weak, or, you know, it is rock solid lockup, and I don't think it's weak by any means, you know, in any way, shape, or form, but you know, I just prefer the reassurance of a nice, big, thick, robust stop pin. You know, it just makes me feel good, you know. So that'd be one little nitpick. Other than that, I really don't have any real negatives. Some people could debate that the price is a little bit on the higher side, but I gotta say, you're getting what you're paying for at the very least. You know, maybe the price is a little bit high, maybe not. But, you know, when you look at all the details, the attention to detail, and, you know, the build quality, the action, just everything put together, you know, even the heat treat, you know, I think it's really good. And like I said, I have no real negatives. So, you know, that's a plus, right? You could pay the same amount and have 10 negatives, you know, or sorry, you could pay less. Sorry, you could pay a lot less and then have a whole bunch of negatives. So anyways, yeah. But yeah, the Manganas Kemano. I will link his thing down in the description. I'm not affiliated, but I'll link it. The next one is, and we're going to talk about a couple other ones too, but we have the new JACKWOLF knife. Now, really quick, because that one's not available yet, there are still some laid back jacks available and some feel goods. So, just so you know, there's multiple colors in both versions still available. There's even full titanium ones of this one. So if you want to get the feel good JACKWOLF knife, awesome Wharncliffe blade. These are super duper hollow. S90V. Yeah, these things are so awesome. So, and then this one has the Wharncliffe blade in S90V with a deep hollow grind. Man, they're both Wharncliffes, but this one's more of a sheep's foot. I'm sorry. This one's, they're both Wharncliffes. I'll just say Wharncliffe for both of them. But I like the spine, you know, the sheep's foot style spine. So it kind of reminds me of a sheep's foot more. This is a typical conventional Wharncliffe. So yeah, I'll link those down in the description if you do want to get these in your collection. If you don't know, I'm sure you do know if you're watching this, but JACKWOLF Knives has some of the best slip joints you can get. They are top tier when it comes to quality, build, the material quality, just everything, fit, finish, action. Every detail on these are real premium slip joints. Now, the new one is the Pioneer. In the Pioneer, I got the one with the jigged pattern, but there is other options, just like always with JACKWOLF knives. And you can see it has a full bolster. Now, the ones with the other materials will have a real bolster. This one's a full titanium, and then it's got a S90V straight back blade. So it is completely straight, pretty much, and it has a nice deep hollow grind. So then you have very comfortable ergonomics. It is a full-size knife for the most part. You know, slip joints are not big knives, but, you know, you can get a full grip on it. And the spring is really good. A little tight for the pull, but I usually prefer a little bit more access to the blade. Like, that's why I love ones like this, where it's just so easy to grip it and rip it. This one's not bad, but let's listen to the acoustics, or the walk and talk, I should say. Love it. Really good sounds. Yeah, this is so thin, man. I love how thin he makes these. They are so slicey. And the beautiful thing is when you're talking about a slip joint, an S90V, titanium, premium materials, this knife is not built for hard use, right? This knife is built for cutting performance, you know, and that's what you want it for. So the fact that we have the S90V that's going to hold an edge forever, and then coupled with nice thin geometry, that's going to, one, very much help the S90V out, because, you know, thinner geometry tends to cut, you know, longer and better. So it's going to be a better cutter. The edge retention is going to be really good. And, you know, it makes it also nice for sharpening. When you sharpen it, you're not going to have to worry about it getting thick as a brick just from sharpening it once or twice. It's going to stay nice and thin for basically its entire life. So these are well thought out. And like I said, you know, the little attention to details are great on these, even down to the geometry for the type of knife it is and the blade steel and everything. I freaking love it. So an S90V, just so you guys know, it's a super high edge retention steel. It is a stainless steel, and it has plenty of toughness. So it's just a straight, all-around, well-rounded steel, and especially, you know, for folding knives. So there you guys go. Let's check out the next one. Now the next one is a SITIVIEN knife. So this is a SITIVIEN knife, and man, this is a big boy. This is a big one. This is the SITIVIEN ST157, and you see it's got a corgi on there. It's either a wiener dog or a corgi. I think it's a corgi. Anyways, very cool. 14C28N. Beautiful satin blade, and look at that finger choil. That's got to be the biggest finger choil I've ever seen in my life. It's almost obnoxious, but if you got a big hand, if you got big hands, then this might be right up your alley. The jimping's really nice. You can get up nice tight. This does feel, I got to admit, this is very comfortable. So if I was really going to bear down, man, this might be the knife to do it, because I can get thumb leverage in there and still have plenty of blade so my thumb doesn't get in the way, or I can squeeze up. Nice in slicey geometry. You know, it's a nice full flat grind, gets down nice and thin. That's a plunge grind you can sharpen forever. Look at all that. So this is a great example of what, you know, a good plunge grind would look like. And I know it's obnoxiously big, but it's at least going to show it. Look at how far away the end of the plunge grind is from the edge. That means you have all of this life to sharpen off. If this was right here, then it would be 2 sharpenings before I would get a smile. Anyways, the action, really good action. Great leverage point on the flipper tab. These are very affordable, by the way. So these are, you know, usually under $30, but usually right around 30 bucks. I don't know the exact price of this one, so don't quote me if I'm off by a little bit. It does have a weird lanyard pin that really doesn't get in the way, even if I choke back. You know, I don't even feel it. So it does have a deep carry clip with standoffs. That's interesting. Looks like it'll work good. You know, they kind of added all the little things. I guess that's like a dog's tail. You know, you got the bone. I think they're kind of doing somewhat of a dog feature. I can reverse flick off of the blade pretty easily. Good access to the lock bar. They did give us good access. The drop is nice and smooth. It hasn't even broken in yet, so very smooth drop. The G10 is nice, thick and robust G10, nicely contoured. I'm sure there's different color options. Yeah, it's unique. It's different. It's weird. It is. I had to admit, it is weird. I could do without the tail of the the lanyard, but it also doesn't get in my way, so I'm not that worried about it. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. It's definitely interesting. It snaps out there with authority. I imagine it's going to cut really good. This blade shape is just a super duper functional blade shape. But yeah, it does got some of a weird look, and the finger choil is a bit obnoxious. But hey, you know, there are some people out there with some massive fingers that it might be good for, and a lot of people really like finger choil. So in this case, you know, you got all the finger choil you need. But yeah, it's either your style or not, right? That's the thing. It does got a wicked look to it. A lot of people are into the wicked looking designs. So, and I gotta admit, I love me some corgis. So there you guys go. I think that's it. That's all we got for today. So work hard, stay tough. Until next time, peace.